Hey everyone, it's Jeff Fisher of High School Football America. Time to talk a little IMG Academy football, the national power out of Bradenton. Brand new head coach this year. Guy on the other side of the box is that man, Greg Studrawa. I knew I was going to mess it up, Coach Studrawa. I was
There
telling
you
the
go.
folks
There you go. That was good.
before I started, I'm like, man, you have got the most difficult name I've had in 50 years. So, anyway, you can tell I'm recording this live. But anyway, Coach, first off, thanks for having me mess up your name like that, and
No,
congratulations on the gig. And we're going to dive right into it. So, thanks for joining me today.
appreciate it. Thank you.
All right. So, long time in the college ranks, right? Quarter of a century. Some of the
Yep.
great programs, Ohio State, LSU. We can go on and on and on. And now you're at the premier high school football program. What, 25 kids or so in the NFL in the
Yep.
first 13 years? Tell me a little bit about why you decided to make your home in Bradenton and take on this big challenge.
Well, it's funny because I actually picked down here after recruiting the Tampa area. My wife and I picked down here a few years ago to retire, and we just happened to find the best spot in Bradenton to retire at the end of that. And then this being right here, and I've known Kyle for a few years. He was with us at Ohio State, and the opportunity came up, and I thought, you got to be kidding me! It's a great opportunity, but for me, it came down to what you said earlier. It's about the kids in the game of football.
Hmm.
That's it. I mean, all the other things, everything that's happening, and I enjoyed my time in college. But the NIL and all those things and the transfer portal, to me, that was, I didn't want to deal with it. I didn't. That's not what the game was about to me, Jeff. It's about the development of kids. It's about giving these kids all the tools they need to go and grab a hold of their future, and educationally as well as football. And like I said, every tool is in place here so that we can do that. So for me to have the chance to end my career down here and give back to the kids and to the game of football, I was over in Europe the past 2 years,
Hmm.
coaching over there, developing line play in that league. They're trying to start the NFL Europe, the ELF going again. So anytime I can give back to the game, and now here in the States, now with younger kids, that's exactly why I took the job and wanted to do it.
What about adjustment? Obviously at the programs you worked at, you were having the same type of kids that you're going to be coaching now. But
Yep.
has there been an adjustment, even if it's going from being that O line guy to being the HC?
Yeah, I think there's a little bit of an adjustment, and you're overseeing things and organizing things, and the adjustment coaching wise wasn't much. I think you just have to scale back on the things you're teaching them. You got to scale back on their development in the weight room, their development skill wise, and where they are in their career as opposed to the other guys. But the game hasn't changed, right? It's blocking and tackling and fundamentals and teaching them, developing them right in the weight room. All right. And so those things haven't changed. But, I've been a coordinator enough years where you were kind of the head coach of the offense when I was there. So those kind of skills were developed back then. And then again, the guys I've been around, like Urban and Les Miles and Randy Edsel and John Cooper. I mean, you can't help but learn from those guys. All
That's it.
successful guys,
Yeah.
and
Who's
and
who?
so yeah, that's right. And so, the things that I learned from those guys uh, are things that I use every day here. So
Mhm. What's the best piece of advice you've been given that it's part of you now from that list of who's who?
I'll tell you the best thing is, and Coach Meyer preached it all the time, that a kid doesn't care what you know until he knows that you care.
Yeah.
And I learned that as a young coach with Coach Meyer, probably back in 2000, 1999, whenever the hell it was. But dive into the kid. When that kid knows that you care about him, the things that you say and how he takes what you say, whether it's coaching football on the field, whether it's life, whether it's academics, whether it's something happened in his life, any of those kind of things, when that kid knows that you care about him and you dive into him, you can coach him, you can help him, you can develop him. And that's the number one lesson. I've carried it with me since the day I learned it.
What's the thing that surprised you the most? I just during this interview with Kyle a little while ago, Kyle Bray, we were talking about misconceptions everybody has about IMG and all that. Now I know you
Yeah,
probably recruited there and all that, but
I did.
is there something that surprised you in your short time now on campus about this program?
No, because like you said, I've recruited here. I've been here enough. I know what they do. I know what they can do. But the one thing that I think that's rubbed off on me now being here is the fact that there's 1,600 athletes here, right, from all over the world. and all of them have a special gift. And I know from my high school experience, I love my high school experience, right? But my coaches, they were teachers or administrators or ADs or whatever, and they had a few hours to spend with me, an hour and a half or whatever it was after school. And that's great. It was awesome. Here, 24/7, we're about these kids. We don't have another job. This is our job, right? And so the ability to have that time around those kids every day, and they're here, like they live here, right? So we're around them. We're their parent at night. We're their coach during the day. And so that unique kind of, relationship is what's really rubbed off on me. And I think that makes all the difference in the world.
And you've probably had a little bit of this in your college life, right? And I'm going to use the word homesickness. Coach Bray and I were talking about this. What makes IMG unique is it is a boarding school, right? Kids
That's
are
right.
not, they're not driving in every day, right? They're coming from
No.
all over the country. And my question is this, one of the things you have to do, like you said, you're everything, right? You got all kind of multiple hats, including being a parent at a time and all that. But what do you do when you get a kid that comes there the first time? And I know you don't have a track record on this, but might be homesick. I mean, have you thought about that?
Oh yeah, I thought about it here in the spring, because the springtime you're not playing games, right? You're practicing, and then it's back to school, and then it's all those things. So, I think the ability, and I talk to the coaches, the assistant coaches about this all the time. You have to look for signs, right? Signs that kid's head's down, that he's looking at the ground, that. And the other thing is the leadership. We have a leadership committee that we've started now. We meet those older guys look after the younger guys, and they see a guy. Like I found out one of my linemen. His father passed away one night in the spring. One of my older linemen said, "Hey, coach, I saw so and so, and he's really upset. I don't know what's wrong." I go grab the kid. His father passed away, right? So those kind of things from the players that are leaders and the coaches and anybody involved in the program, the strength coach, the trainers, the ability to look for those signs and talk to them, looking for those signs that a kid might be upset about something, and then immediately get all over it. And I think, as a head coach, I want to preach that to everybody that has contact with our kids on this campus anywhere. And those kind of things, when something like that happens, when an upperclassman says, "Hey, coach, you better check on so-and-so." Those things are what you want to promote. And that's how we try to handle it as best we can.
Yeah, I was friends with Kevin Wright when he was there way back in the day, in the early days of IMG, and got to know a lot about what goes on there. And one of the things Kevin and I used to talk about was, finding the best of the best to be alongside him, shoulder to
Yeah,
shoulder, the
you
assistants.
got
Talk a little bit about that program that you have right now. Have you brought in some guys that you knew? It was a
it.
leftover, a little mix of everything?
It's a little bit of a mix, yeah. It's a little bit of a mix. We have some new coaches. We have some new players coming in here next Thursday when everybody reports, and then a really good mix of talent of the guys that are here and the coaches that are here that have spent time here that really know the place inside and out, and they've helped me with the kids that are here. And there's so many. I mean, Jeff Blake runs our quarterback academy. We talk football. Here's an NFL quarterback of 14 years that played in the Pro Bowl. Right? I mean, I bounce things off that guy every day. So
Yeah.
the people that are around here are really, really not only excellent coaches, but excellent teachers and people. And that's what has to rub off. That has to rub off on our kids, and it has to rub off in everybody that's involved in this program, so that we can give the kids every tool that they need for their success.
Let's see, 5 teams last year finishing in our national rankings that are powered by NFL Play Football. You've got those on the schedule. You've got the number one prep school in the Hun School out of New Jersey.
Yeah.
You take this job. You knew you were going to have a meat grinder, but this schedule's pretty tough. What do you think about what's ahead of you in 2025?
Yeah, I've been watching film on these teams. I'm like, what are we doing, right? I mean, what are we doing? Playing with 7 games on the road to start the year, playing this schedule? But no, man, that's what the kids come here for, right? That's what you come here for. You come here to be challenged. You come here to play the best. We have a saying that I talk about with the kids all the time: iron sharpens iron, man. So you know what? We're going to go out. We're going to do the best we can do. We're going to give the kids all the tools they need to be successful, and then we're going to enjoy it. That's what we're going to do. We're going to go attack it. We're going to be ready to play, and we're going to enjoy playing that schedule.
Frequent flyer miles.
Yes, we're going to get some of those. That's right.
You're going to have a few of those, no doubt about this. I probably should have asked you this earlier, but the old line guy, right? And you say you've been coordinator
Yeah.
and all that, but as the HC, do you get in there? Are you still coaching the linemen? You kind of roll up the sleeves and go, "Hey, this is where the football game is won," or are you able to back away from that a little bit?
Oh, not backing away. There's not a
I
chance
didn't
that
think
happening.
so.
No, no. I'm going to coach them. I'm going to enjoy coaching them. I mean, that's why I do this. I embrace the head coach role and I enjoy it, but no, I'm not coaching any players in that relationship and hands on, especially with those guys up front. I've done it so long, and the relationship I have with these kids, and they after a few weeks here, they're like, "Coach, are you going to coach us? Are you going to coach us?" So no, they're excited about it. I'm excited about it, and I'll never give that up.
I'm going to go off topic a little bit here, but it is on topic because I just recently interviewed Coach Bray, excuse me, about NFL Academy and what's going on overseas, specifically in Europe, and now Africa is exploding, the new academy in Australia. And my question is specific to your time over there over the last
Yeah.
couple of years. What is your view of how American football is becoming bigger and bigger over there, wherever that may be, whether it's Europe or in Africa or wherever it's growing to? You got some thoughts on that?
I do. I've seen it firsthand, and the reason I went over there was just for offensive line development at first, and then I talked to that Elf League now has 18 or 20 teams in Germany, Italy. My buddy just started the team in Denmark. All over. Paris has a team, so it's expanding all over Europe. They got a TV contract. There were, the Rhine Fire had averages 30,000 fans a game. I mean, it's incredible what it's taken over there. And a bunch of NFL coaches are over there coaching old NFL coaches that are running these programs and really trying to, like you said, it's about developing the game of football globally because they're not exposed to it over there. Those kids don't play it in high school, so it's got to be something they do on the side, and it's growing and growing. With the NFL games going over there, that sparked it. And now Germany's got 3 or 4 leagues that play. Italy's got 2 leagues that play. Poland's got 2 leagues that play. So they're all starting to play and to embrace the game. And now anything we can do going over there, and the NFL Academy, they have some players. I saw them last year when I was over there in Europe playing in over there. And so the ability to go over there and teach the game, that's what if they're lacking anything, they're lacking just the game, the understanding of the game from a fundamental perspective, from a management perspective, how to do those things. But it's grown incredibly, and it's really, really popular. So I had a ball over there doing it, and I'd be back over there again. If this hadn't come up, there's no doubt in my mind I'd be back over there again doing it.
And you guys will get a taste of NFL Academy coming to your house this year. So it'll be interesting
That's
to
right.
watch that. You also brought back a memory there. The Rhine Fire, my buddy played. He was a quarterback at Lehigh University and played over there in NFL Europe back in the day for the Rhine Fire. I didn't know that franchise with that nickname still exists. So that's kind of cool.
Yeah.
Let's wrap up with going back to your neck of the woods in Bradenton there and just talk about expectations that you have on yourself and on this team heading into 2025 at this point, just outside of fall practice.
Sure. The one thing I want our kids to understand, and everybody, coaches the same way, I want our kids to understand that our goal of this program is for them to pursue excellence in every facet of their life. All right. I want them to be the best football player they can be, the best student they can be, the best son for their parents, the best friend and teammate. That's what I want them to do. I want them to learn that I want to chase excellence. Be the best. It's not okay to be average. You can be better than that, right? And I don't want them to settle for things like that. I want them to be able to pursue excellence, and I want them to be able to prepare them for college. Because what that game is now, there's a lot of ways that don't have anything to do with technique and blocking or catching or running that they're going to face when they get to college with NIL and all the things that they're going to deal with now. So I want to advise them as best I can, prepare them in every aspect of their life, and then let them understand, guys, we want you to pursue excellence. Be the best you can be in everything, man, not just football, in everything. And if we get that done, then I'll be happy.
Well, I've heard a lot of people say a lot of awesome things about you. I think the student athletes there are going to be very, very lucky to have you there to leading them on the way, on the journey. And we wish you nothing but success there and have a great 2025. And we appreciate you taking the time today.
Hey, Jeff, thanks for what you do, first of all, man, because again, we got to fight to keep developing this game. And the things that you guys do really, really help in that manner to help us coaches. So I appreciate you guys. Thanks for having me on.
Thanks, Coach. We appreciate you too.